Well, we're gonna contrast on this is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which I thought was
Mm.
so boring.
You thought it was boring.
Yes,
See, I feel like if of all of the criticisms you could level it on this movie, I think boring is I kind of get where you're coming from
it
because
moves so slow. These scenes are
this
like,
movie is like 5 scenes and they're all a little too long.
yeah, yeah, it's a short movie, but it doesn't feel like it because every scene is taking forever to do what it's trying to do. It is not funny. It's like
I disagree.
it's like spending a whole bunch of time trying to be funny, but it's like slowly trying to be funny. It's not even like throwing a bunch of jokes at you. Like after this, I was like trying to check in with my sense of humor, and I watched a Three Stooges short, and I was like it was so much more what I wanted than
Yeah.
this movie.
I don't disagree. I think Three Stooges, especially in terms of its like physical slapstick humor, is so much better than this movie. I haven't seen a lot of Abbott and Costello movies. I think this might be the only one I've ever seen. I also had forgotten that I'd seen this movie before. Like I think I'd seen this movie multiple times. Maybe it used to be on TV a lot, like around Halloween.
Hmm.
And so I think I maybe had never seen it all the way through in one sitting before, but I definitely seen the whole thing. I don't know. This movie is. You're right. It's not great, but I kind of love it.
I wanted to love it in the way that I think that you do love it. I really wanted to
Right.
love this movie. And like I think it's a not that good Universal monster movie that is made worse by a bunch of unfunny scenes in the middle. And it's not a good comedy movie because it's mostly a Universal monster movie with these guys here. And I think it's like it's kind of a neat idea to like take these comedic characters and then you're just straightforwardly going through a Frankenstein movie. Like I think that's or more like a Wolfman movie as usual. But like ah, I don't know. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me.
It works for me. I think I do kind of like how the monsters are played pretty straight. Like
But
they're
yeah,
played pretty
yeah.
much as like they are the characters from the other Universal monster movies, and they are supposed to be scary for the most part. They're not supposed to be as scary as they are in their original movies. Also funny that this movie is called Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, when of the 3 monsters,
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster is the one with
Barely.
by far the least screen time. It is
Yeah.
like is barely a character in this.
This is really yeah. Abbott and Costello and the Wolfman versus Frankenstein or versus Dracula.
Right.
Versus Science Dracula.
Science, which also like yeah, this movie is about science Dracula, which is like, oh yes. Right, this movie is
It's
very
so
dumb. Like
stupid.
this
Like
movie is super dumb. Like I will fully admit to that. I don't really have a problem with that, but it's like the dumbest. This movie feels like it was shot like in a weekend,
yeah.
but on amazing sets. Like the sets in this movie look gorgeous and are
Mm,
like there's an island castle with a spooky laboratory in it.
yeah.
There's like trapdoors and like secret passages and like swamps and stuff. There's a people go to a masquerade ball in a swamp for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this movie is, we haven't seen. There's a ton of Universal monster movies that we haven't seen at this point because they were
Right.
just cranking them out. But um, most of the ones that we've seen so far are like trying to be actual monster movies and not just like silliness.
Right.
Except for maybe
Yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein. Like this, I feel like is kind of.
This is the Deadpool and Wolverine of the Universal Monster
Oh, no wonder I
series.
hated it. But
Where it's like we're taking the same characters played by the same actors and we're playing it for laughs instead
That's
of
true. Well,
serious.
I was gonna say is that like this feels like the beginning of like it's not a horror movie, it's not a scary movie, it's a Halloween fun time movie, right?
Yes. This is a
Like
very
it's
Halloween
yeah.
spooky Monster Mash movie.
Yeah, it's like we're having a spooky themed time, but we're all still having fun,
Yeah.
just like you do in October.
It's got animated opening credits where the words are made out of bones, and whenever Dracula turns into a bat, he fully just turns into an animated cartoon.
I really like that actually. That part I like
Kind of rules.
it feels like it's completely breaking reality in a way that's just like we're all comfortable with this. He's going
Yeah,
to turn into a cartoon because we don't have the technology to do a transformation of him
yeah.
turning into a bat. I have seen I saw House of Dracula a long time ago and I think he does the same kind of animated
Hmm.
transition in that one.
I
First
do think
Sailor
the
Moon transformation sequence.
I do think the Wolfman transformation looks better in this than it does in the 41 Wolfman movie. I think the kind of
They're
lap
iterating
dissolve.
on it. Yeah.
I think yeah, the kind of like, adding a little bit of makeup each time between dissolves works better in this one. It does kind of feel like Lon Chaney Jr. is maybe the only one who is like taking it feels like he's like the most invested of all of the actors in this. He's the one who's like, "No, this is like my." I think he was the guy that was like he kept coming back and making more Wolfman movies. He was like, "No, I love making these. Please let me play the Wolfman more."
He gets better and better at being the
It's
Wolfman every
true.
time we've seen him.
And this is the second of 2 times that Bela Lugosi played Dracula, like, in a Universal monster movie.
Yeah, Bela Lugosi's been like every other person besides Dracula
Right, he's, like,
afterward.
played Frankenstein monster, he's played, like, the Wolfman, he's played, Igor, but this is the only other time that he was just, like, regular Dracula. I guess he kind of
Well,
played, like, Dracula-esque characters and other things, but
yeah, but he's not even regular Dracula in this one. He's a brain scientist Dracula. He's Dracula playing he's Dracula being Frankenstein, which is
right, he's like what's his plan is he wants to replace the Frankenstein monster's brain because it's too uncontrollable with Costello's, right? That's Costello is the
uh
short one.
yes, Costello's yeah. Well, yeah, Abbott and Costello, classic tall, skinny guy, short, fat guy combo
Mhm.
that we've seen in many other places. Laurel and Hardy, R2 and C3PO,
Yeah.
etc.
I think this is the first Abbott and Costello that we're doing on the show, right? We haven't watched any of the other stuff.
Who's on first?
Which is from which movie?
Oh, I don't even know, but like
Right, that's their famous bit, which is not in this movie, sadly.
too bad. Isn't it kind of like it really has come this is a complete sidebar, but like it used to be the case that comedians had a bit that everyone was like say your bit now, right? Like they had like a classic joke and they weren't expected to like necessarily always have something new. It was like, play the hits. It's
The
like a
thing is,
musician.
I don't think Play the Hits works in comedy the way that does in music.
That's probably why that kind of thing faded away. I feel like the last time that I can remember a comedian having a signature bit that he's expected to do over and over again is the Jim Gaffigan Hot Pockets thing.
I'm not sure I'm familiar.
Ah.
I'm not upset that that has sort of gone away. Like, I think having a comedian just having, like, one signature bit that they do over and over again is usually not a great,
I mean,
thing.
who's on first is a classic though.
Right, but it's like you gotta iterate on it. You gotta do something different with it each time,
Yeah.
which I think maybe they did. I'm not that familiar with Abbott and Costello's greater oeuvre, their greater body of work. I know that this is the first of several monster movies that they did. I think they were not pleased about making this movie. They were like, We don't want to make like a monster movie. Like this is not our shtick." But it was so successful that they're like, "All right, we'll do 4 more of these."
Will be second most famous for monster movies after Who's on
Yeah.
First.
And then I think like this is not the first sort of like Universal Monsters like crossover movie. Right. We did what was it Frankenstein meets the Wolfman
Yeah.
already? But I think to my knowledge this is the first sort of like Dracula the is like the main villain of a bunch of monsters movies, which has become sort of like if Dracula is in your movie and there are a bunch of other monsters in it, Dracula is like the main villain and is sort of the one like pulling the strings of the other. He's like the mastermind, right?
Right.
Like that's in Monster Squad, that's in Van Helsing, that's like also rewatching this, I'm like, this has almost the same plot as Van Helsing. Like Van Helsing is basically Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, but without with less jokes, I would say, and
Only a
more
few
action
less
scenes.
jokes.
Right, not even that many less jokes. So I mean, the a joke that happens minimum like 3 to 4 times in this movie that I do think is funny, but also definitely goes on for too long is Lou Costello playing Wilbur is doing something in the foreground. He's got some business that he's doing, some, mundane activity, and there's usually the Wolfman behind him like sneaking up really slowly in the background and almost catching him, but he like moves out of the way just in time. And I think it's very funny because it's so absurd and it's so obvious that the Wolfman isn't going to eat him.
Right.
It's just this like really slow, like it's like fully lit, like there's no shadows, it's not scary whatsoever. The Wolfman in this is like a total klutz buffoon, is getting like tripping over stuff the whole movie, is like getting
Yeah.
kicked downstairs. It's
He
like
gets stuck in half of a bush.
right, it's like any sense of menace that the Wolfman had is gone.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that in on one hand it's fun. On another hand, I think the best thing about the Wolfman is the kind of I don't know, the scariness of the prospect of him turning into the Wolfman. Speaking
Right.
of, did we just kind of change gears on whether it's the full moon that turns him into a Wolfman?
No, it is the full moon. There's just 3 full moons in a row in this movie.
This I like it doesn't make yeah, I'm
It's because
thinking
like,
like
this movie does not care about that. This movie is like, "We know that you don't give a shit. You just wanna see monsters
I
do
do.
silly shit."
I do. I mean like that was very disorienting to me. I was like, did a month pass? Like what's happening
You
here?
you just wanna see Dracula's coffin open up really slowly and then close again when someone looks at it.
Yeah.
See, you're laughing now. It is funny. But that's the thing is, like, that happens once, it's funny. It happens, like, 8 times in a row, you're like, "I get it.
All
I
right,
get the joke."
let this scene end, please.
I enjoy this movie. It's very silly. It's got some really great just like 40s monster shit in it. It's got a great spooky laboratory with like Tesla coils. There's lots of really goofy wordplay of people saying like I'll bite and like no, I will. Blah. Um Also Vincent Price pops up as the Invisible Man as an uncredited cameo at the very end of the movie
Uh,
when they jump
and
in a boat to escape and the Invisible Man is in there.
it's a notable voice, that Price voice.
Right,
Definitely
yeah.
had some familiarity there.
Although I think because they did later make an Abbott and Costello meet the Invisible Man, and I don't think it's Vincent Price.
They're changing actors all over the place in these Universal monster movies. They've been
Right.
doing them
The
for 15 years at this or 18 years at this
the
point.
the the Frankenstein monster in this is played by an actor named Glenn Strange, which is a great name from my perspective.
Glenn Strange. Yeah, wow, the first Dracula was 1931, 17
Yeah,
years before this.
crazy. Also, just a funny 1940s accent thing is whenever, especially Bud Abbott says Dracula and monster, he says Dracula and monster. He like switches the end vowel sounds
The
of each.
Dracula monster.
Yeah, Dracula and the monster. Um, and it's like that's not a joke at all in the movie, but it made me laugh every time. So I think if you want like the song Monster Mash in movie form, and it's the middle of October, and you've watched all the good monster team up movies, then You know what? Throw this one on. You don't have to pay attention to it because like you get it.
Yeah, like, we have our playlist of movies to that are visually interesting silent movies to put on in the background. This I think is a background movie. It's a throw it on TV movie,
Yeah.
specifically because it's not that interesting, but like it is something that just brings you it's just like, you just look every once in a while and there's Dracula. Nice.
Yeah. It also like it does look surprisingly great for such a silly movie, I think.
Yeah.